Maryland sports fans, there's only one sports book in the great state of Maryland with over 50 years experience booking bets and supporting customers. Betfred Sportsbook at Longshots is now open and is the only sportsbook in Frederick offering cash betting on football, basketball, world soccer, and more. Visit the Betfred Sportsbook at I-270 and MD-85 in Frederick, right next to Longshots off-track betting. Go to betfredsports.com for more information and your chance to win exclusive merchandise. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Loud Spot. I'm your host, Sebastian, hanging out with my co-host, Don, and a buddy of mine. This is his third time on the show, but the second time we're talking about Bitcoin, and I am excited. So let's get this show started.
Oh, no! Oh, boy! Ah, here it comes! The motherfucking Loud Spot!
All right, before I get the show started, I do want to remind everyone to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if I start sounding fuzzy, it's up to Don and Alex to let me know so I can adjust the sound settings, because we're messing around with some technology shit, and I'm trying to figure it out. So, all right. I love having this segment about Bitcoin. You were on about 3 months ago, Alex, and now you're back on again. We got Don here. Don does not know anything about Bitcoin, and I knew nothing about Bitcoin. I knew nothing about Bitcoin really until you came on the show, started talking about it, got me hooked into it, and now it's like one of those things where I want to keep on watching the market and see how it and see what it does. And also, since you've been on, you created a website.
That's right. Yeah. AlexMangumCrypto.com.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
It's like a little private one-on-one consulting thing that I've been doing.
And it's now I saw the initial consultation, 30 minutes consultation, and that's free.
Yeah.
But then go ahead.
You know, so yeah, I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the payment structure for the thing, and I was a little bit worried about how could I keep myself out of trouble, since I'm not telling people what to invest in, but I am giving, in essence, financial advice. So I was like, man, how do I get around that since I don't have any licensing? I decided I was going to do it all free and then say, you can give me a donation. And I've been doing it that way. And you know what? Like psychologically, it's kind of probably earning me more. Like if I said, hey, I want $35 an hour or $50 an hour, I probably wouldn't get some people. But if I say it's free, and at the end of it, if you want to give me a donation, just give me a donation, whatever you feel. And people have been like giving bigger donations than $50 an hour.
Nice.
So
what's good about that is because
nice.
I guess you need some sort of licensing to technically give financial advice. Like you can get in trouble for it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just would have done it till I got in trouble.
See, I want to keep my cheddar from the government, man. I don't like giving them anything. So I don't even want to have to fight them. Yeah, those bums.
What's so important about this is, and the reason why I love this Bitcoin episodes is it really gives people an insight, because the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that's so confusing to so many people. But really, it's not that confusing. It's people don't want to look at it. They don't want to look into it. It's like your grandmother who gets an iPhone or gets like Snapchat, and there's all these different filters. They don't want to mess with it. They don't know what that is. But once you dive into it, it's really not that complicated.
God damn it, Sebastian, why you got to call me out like that?
The way I see it is that the technology and how Bitcoin works, that's deep. That's really hard to grasp from a technical perspective. But why Bitcoin exists and how it works, you know, on a financial or on a monetary policy level, like why is Bitcoin better than dollars? That's actually pretty easy and pretty, you know, people can digest that. And once they lean into it and they're like, well, actually tell me a little bit about it. 9 out of 10 times they're like, oh, that's why it's good. Oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah. That's what happened to me. So there is this app, right? There's an app, and we are not sponsored by them at all, but we're just going to talk about it, okay? And the app's called Strike. I thought it was called Strike. It's just called Strike, Strike, okay? You can go on there. Alex is like, go on there, and he gave me his promo code, and immediately you get a promo code. You get a free $10 from Strike. So now you have $10 worth of Bitcoin, okay? And $10 worth of Bitcoin is very, very small. Because right now, one Bitcoin as of today, I wrote it down. It's right, and it like changes almost like by the minute, I think, right?
Yeah. It does.
Does it change by the minute even on the weekends?
Yeah. Yeah, crypto Bitcoin market is 24/7 trading.
Okay.
So while the stock markets, open and close, this market does not. It's just always going.
And it's similar to the stock market as far as I'm concerned, because I'm looking at it as a consumer buying into the Bitcoin, and it goes up right now. It's at a little over $29,000, which right now is at a 12-month low. I know this because I looked it up right before we started this episode.
Yep.
Okay. From someone's standpoint that has no idea, it's like you're speaking a foreign language.
Yep.
Start us out from the beginning. How do we? So
you're giving Don a consultation right now.
Yeah, yes. You're giving me a freebie consultation.
So usually the first place I start is why did this even get created? Why do we even need it? Why is it important? And it comes down to like two things. It comes down to technology, and it comes down to the fact that the money that we have today is just terribly corrupted. Terribly corrupted. We all know about
I don't think anybody can deny that.
Not one bit. Inflation is at a 40-year high today. Gas costs, food costs, house prices going up. Everything is just out of control, and it's because there's this graph or this number. It's called the M2 number. The government puts it out. What M2 means is how much money do we have in the system in the world, the dollars. And when you look at this graph of M2, you'll see it kind of moves sort of, here's the graph, and it's kind of moving on this line. And then it gets right here. It starts going up all through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, right when we go off the gold standard. Like we go away from real money. Gold is real money. It's hard money. I'll explain that in a minute. And it goes to COVID right here, and it goes. So the government has, in essence, essentially printed 40 to 50% of all dollars in existence in the last 18 to 24 months.
Wow.
You want to know why everything costs more right now? It's not because of Putin. It's not because of this, that, and the other. It's because we had a crisis, and the answer to the crisis was, well, let's print more money. And that's been the answer to the crisis since the 80s and 90s when Greenspan started this. They call it quantitative easing. It's the slow increase of quantitative easing, right? And so when you have money that you can just double up and print up, it starts to devalue everything else because it's just simple math. There's more dollars in the system, so everybody can ask for more dollars for everything they're selling.
Wow.
Because everybody has more dollars to give.
I've never heard it explained like that.
Well, he used a lot of words I didn't even know what they meant. So I was like, yeah, that sounds super cool. I know what that means. Well, I don't know what quantitative, what did you say, quantitative trading?
Quantitative easing. It's called QE. So it's the slow increase, the easy increase of quantity of dollars. And it's like, because I've heard quantitative easing for years. And I'm like, what the hell is that even? It's just the slow increase in quantity.
Okay.
And that's what they're doing, right? So here, think about money this way. Like, I give you dollars, you give me things. Dollars are the most sellable item on the planet. I can sell dollars for anything. Everybody will give me something for my dollars. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So money, what is money? Let's go back in history and look at, sometimes we have seashells. Sometimes we had beads. Sometimes we had rocks.
Crops.
Trade. Bartering.
Right. So what you see so many times in history, it's so unfortunate, is that a civilization or a people with more technology and highly advanced would come across another society that's not as highly advanced, that has an inferior money like seashells or like glass beads. And that technologically superior civilization would quickly go and get more of their money, make it because of their technology, like glass beads and seashells and things like that, and then bring it back to these people and then pump their society full of this to get their resources. It would extract their resources, and within decades, 10, 20, 30 years, that society will be robbed blind. Their wealth is stolen. Their wealth is stolen because it was easy for somebody to increase their money. Right. And come in and rob them. So when money is hard, and what is hard money? Well, go get some gold out of the ground. Right. How easy is that? Right. Machinery, manpower, geological analysis, extraction tooling, minting and mining. Like,
you could just go to like a river with a pan and like with the holes in it, and then, there's places that you can get little pieces of gold like that. As the simplest form of, you say it's easy. It's because then you got your machinery. There's boats. There's people that go on these big, huge boats, have all this stuff. But the simplicity of it is, back during the gold rush and things like that, like the 49ers, right?
You call it easy.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I'm just saying that getting gold is it's hard. It's what I'm. Never mind. Go ahead.
What I mean is get enough
Never
gold.
mind.
Here, this is what I mean, because you're right. You and I could go get gold right now.
Right.
But go get enough gold to affect the quantity of gold, to make an impact.
Right.
You and I would go get gold that wouldn't even measure a 0.00000 amount of the quantity at hand.
Yep.
So we're not measurably affecting the supply of gold.
Right.
And you can't, because for the last 5,000 years, we've been mining gold. So there is a crap ton of gold out of the earth right now, even though there's still tons of gold in the earth.
So you were joking when you said it's easy to get gold?
No, I was dead serious.
Okay,
what I meant was go get enough gold for it to affect the quantity of gold already in existence.
Okay.
And this is called the stock to flow. It's how much do we have and how much can you go get per year, stock to flow per year. Right. So the stock to flow per year of gold is like 2%, 1% or 2%. That's with all the industry on the planet pulling gold out. They can only produce every year 1 to 2% of the quantity already in existence. So that's why. And so for that purpose, that's one purpose. But then gold doesn't degrade. Gold is very recognizable. You can test for it and know that it's good. It's a medium of exchange. Like, there's all these reasons that make gold good, but gold isn't as good as other monies. So now you think about that, right? We can't increase the supply of gold quickly, but we can just hit a button and go, there's $1 trillion, there's $2 trillion, there's 3. So dollars are flimsy, easy dollars. It means nothing to just print more. And these politicians do it, and they get votes because you get a short-term bump in the economy and everything's better for a little bit. But long-term, it's just destroying us.
So then how does that relate, though, to Bitcoin then? Because can you just create more Bitcoin?
No.
Did we talk about this on the last episode? I forgot.
Kind of, but I didn't get too far into it because we stayed a little bit more away from the technical. So what's the history of Bitcoin? I'll do it in a pretty 4 or 5 minutes. I'll knock this one out.
Okay.
I remember telling you about information, how we send information across space and time, how essentially humans have mastered that. And this is the proof of it right here. We've gone to pigeons, notes, fires, and smoke signals to the three of us can look each other in the face right now and talk instantaneously wherever we are on the planet.
Yep.
All right, now
anywhere in the world.
Now send me money instantaneously with instant cash finality. That was never possible until Bitcoin. So humans had been trying to do that. How do I send money easily? Because back in the day, you want to send a lot of money, you have to send a lot of gold. And to send a lot of gold, you need an army. You need a navy. You need a huge boat that can carry all that weight, thousands of pounds of gold. It was not easy to travel with money up until recently, until it went digital. But it's still, even this digital money we have, PayPal, somebody will tell you, well, I can send money instantly with PayPal. No, you're just using a credit system. And your banks, you're just using a credit system. And you're using a credit system based on flim-flam, easy dollars that are corrupted. So these nerds, all these great nerds, when the internet came out, that was like, oh my goodness, now we can really send information over space and time. So almost immediately, the nerds started thinking, how do we use the internet for money? And they started trying to find a way. And then I think it was the 60s or 70s, in partnership with the government and academia, they created cryptography. So now there's a way for me to send a message through the air that anybody could intercept, but only the recipient, the intended recipient, had the right code to actually unlock and read that message.
Receive the message. Right.
Cryptography, right? So they started thinking, all right, how do we use cryptography, the internet, sending message over these internet protocols to use money? And they started trying. This person tried this, and this person built on it, and this person tweaked that. And years and decades. And these people started becoming known as crypto punks or cypherpunks, right? Because they're the ciphers. They're trying to figure out this code so they can send money instantly without a trusted third party. I don't need a government. I don't need a bank. I don't need an issuer. I just need you and me with this monetary system to send each other money. And they couldn't figure it out. They tried and tried and tried. And then all through the 90s and then to the 2000s, along comes Satoshi Nakamoto, that name. And he takes this guy's thing and this guy's idea and that one, and he kind of puts them together in this little box, and he adds just a little bit of his own idea.
Well, theoretically, right? Because we don't really know that's who it was.
The entity.
Satoshi Nakamoto. Entity. Yeah, we don't know if it was a person. Okay, whatever. All right.
Whoever it was. Okay. CIA. Maybe it was the CIA.
Who knows? Who knows?
Nobody knows. His name is. Don, that really to me is the craziest part of all this. Nobody has any idea who the creator of Bitcoin is. Not a clue.
Dude, that tells me there's some secret crazy.
It's the Illuminati.
Someone deep in the government that knew how to do this and just gave it a name, and it's like no one really knows if it's a person or a thing, because obviously it's not a person, because we would have known who that person was. I think it's like you have Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. I don't think those are real people, right? Those are programs.
Just remember, this is a person. If you think about what kind of a person would Satoshi Nakamoto be, this is an extremely intelligent, technical person. This is a computer nerd on another level who would know exactly how to mask his identity on the internet. And you're not finding this.
That's pretty brilliant. It's pretty
Isn't that crazy though.
It really is brilliant.
It gets worse.
Or it could be like a cyber vigilante, so to speak.
So he creates this. And like I said, he takes the ideas from people that are known and that are big proponents of Bitcoin today. He takes their ideas and he just tweaks them and created this thing, and it worked. And it just took off. And so in the process, as he started mining in the very beginning, he accumulated, he, she, they, them, whatever. They accumulated over 1 million Bitcoins into their wallet. Not a single Bitcoin has ever left his wallet to this day. It's sitting there. You can go view it. You can get on the internet and look at it. And I'll tell you this, the day that a Bitcoin moves out of that wallet, Bitcoin will collapse.
Wow.
Because it will terrify everybody. They'll be like, oh my gosh, she's selling. Who is this? Why now and not then? Like it will send a panic through it.
If that happens, I'm telling you that the as deep as this is, if that happens, that means the world's coming to an end. Like World War III.
It's like it's all collapsing now. Financially just so, but anyway, so he creates it. Now I won't, I don't even think we have the time to get into like the monetary theory and how you asked.
You know what? We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're going to go as long as we want to on this episode.
This is
as long as I can smoke.
Keep it smoking. You said, Sebastian, well, can't we just mine more? And I said, no. Well, why? It's because his little special tweak was called the difficulty adjustment. So if we want to get more gold out of the earth today, we hire more people, we get more machinery, and we start digging more mines, and we increase the annual production limit. The more computing power that enters onto the Bitcoin network, the network adjusts to that and makes it harder to mine Bitcoin because it has a fixed monetary policy that says, this system will distribute this many coins per day. And you cannot manipulate that to go faster. So people think, you can just manipulate this system too. Well, for 13 years now, people have tried to manipulate this and they haven't. So in the very beginning.
I didn't know it had been around that long. I thought this was something extremely new, like 2020 new.
I mean,
oh no, people are trying to get me into Bitcoin. I'll say Alex is the first person to successfully get me to invest in Bitcoin. And that's because he promised me a free $10 of Bitcoin that he was going to throw me. I was like, fine, I'll do it.
It's because you said, let me hear about it.
Yeah.
It's just about any person that leans in and says, you know what, I want to hear about it. Like I said, it clicks. It's like the government can make all the money they want, but Bitcoin can't, and it's secure, and I don't need a third party, and I can send it instantaneously.
But hold up, I asked about it. So where my $10 at?
We'll get to that.
It's in the mail.
We're going to get to that. But the reason why I want him going, the reason why it was easy for me to listen to Alex is first, I've known him since second grade. Okay. So known him since second grade. So he's someone who, and he's not trying to sell me on Bitcoin. He came on the show because we did a reaction video to Falling in Reverse, which they have a new song I want to do a reaction video to, but we did a reaction video to Zombified. And then at the end of the show, I'm more curious about him and his family and things like that and how things are going with him. And he starts talking about Bitcoin. I said, let's have a show about it. So he comes on and talks about it. Everyone else that has got me, that's like the best thing he ever could have done on that reaction video was leading us into these Bitcoin episodes, right?
Yeah. So
he wasn't salesy about it either. A lot of people that talk about Bitcoin is because they're working for some sort of pyramid scheme, multi-level marketing company. That's why they're trying to get me into Bitcoin. Alex is not doing that. He's just like, here's some knowledge about it. I think it's a good investment for you and your family. And I'll tell you one thing. My wife watches these housewife shows, right? There's one that's I think it's in Dubai. Okay. Yeah. And is that in the Emirates? United
Arab Emirates.
Yeah. So there's a guy on there and super wealthy guy. And the wife's talking about how, they start off kind of nothing. And the show kind of talks about how he started off investing in Bitcoin a long time ago. And this dude's like freaking wealthy. And I'm thinking, man, I wish I would have started this a long time ago. Cause I first heard about Bitcoin. I think even before, when did Bitcoin start becoming like a regular, almost household name, I guess?
2010 to 2014 is when most people would say I heard of it. It was launched in 2009,
right around that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really late.
And that's the funny thing is we're so early in this.
Yes,
we're not late, Don.
Nope.
Oh, great.
And here's the thing, and I want to, let's talk about this real quick. Unless you want to finish your history about it.
No, that's good. I was just going to dive into something else. Go ahead.
Okay. Here's what I want to say. I, for one, when I first got Bitcoin, my first $10, and I put, I've been slowly putting like $5 in every couple of weeks, just small here and there, and I think it was like 40 something thousand per Bitcoin when I first started. So I've actually lost money because my value's gone down, but that's fantastic news. What people don't understand is that is great. You know why? Because it's cheaper now than it was before. It's only going to go back up. What people don't understand is why am I going to buy Bitcoin now when it's only $29,000 a Bitcoin? It's at a 12-month low. Well, idiot. Buy it when it's low because it's only going to go back up. If that Shiitake Himaka, whatever his name is, if he hasn't sold out yet, then
if you
go buy some, buy low, sell high, but don't even sell it, just keep it.
Hold it. Save your dollars in Bitcoin. Because if you save your dollars in dollars, their value is going down daily.
Right.
But if you look at the news reports on Bitcoin, it was Bitcoin crashed to $300. Then Bitcoin crashed to $3,000. Now Bitcoin has crashed to $30,000. That doesn't sound like a crash to me. That sounds like volatility that makes other people that are uninterested and don't want to investigate say, oh, it's crashed.
It's an easy way for them not to do it, to not pay attention to it. But if you're smart and you think, and I'm not saying I'm smart, believe me, I'm not saying I'm smart, but I know that when something's cheap, it's like, okay, for instance, I bought this, and this is going to relate to an actual object in my house.
Yeah.
There's a rocking chair that not a rocking chair, a wheelchair that I bought in my house. Okay. It's worth, to the right person, about $1,000. I could probably get rid of it for a couple $100 easily.
Yeah.
Send it to like a pawn shop or a thing. I bought it for $50. And my wife's like, why are you buying that? We hoarders all of a sudden? I'm like, no, it's cheap. You buy it because it's cheap, and then you can sell it later. But the same
idea, the concept.
Yeah, thank you. Applies to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Is when it's cheap, you want to get it, and when it's expensive, if it was at $100,000 right now, I'd probably not want to buy anything till it dropped again.
And you know what? That's a totally valid point. But I'll tell you this: I buy every 2 weeks. I don't care what the price is.
Well, right? For now, yeah.
A lot of people like to buy consistently like that, and then they hold some cash here, and they wait for dips of like 20, 30%, and then they throw a big chunk in, and then they buy, whatever it does, and then they hold a big chunk and throw it in. Like, there's a bunch of different ways to do this. But
okay,
the reality is people think they missed out when it hit $1, and then they feel bad because it hit $10 and they thought that's as high as it goes, and they missed out. And then it hit 100, and then it hit 1,000, and then it hit 10,000, and then it will hit $100,000.
Oh,
and it'll go to $1 million.
Okay, so tell me how I would invest, how I would start investing.
There's one way, and Sebastian knows.
Can I? Yeah, let me take this question. I know I'm new to this about 2 months ago, maybe, I guess, two and a half.
So here's my example. Say I got the $10 in Bitcoin. Where would I start there with that?
So let's go into this. And Alex taught me this. I think it was 11 o'clock and not here. And I shot him a text. He was still up. He goes, "Oh, you're up like me." I was like, "Yeah." And I was just very curious. So here's how I got started. And like I said, I'm not trying to sell anybody. I have a podcast. I'm putting the word out there. Whether you invest, whoever you're out, do it or don't. I don't care. I don't
not
make any
financial advice. These are my opinions.
I had a very good friend of mine try to get educating us on Bitcoin. Christy Ray Empinger. She's a friend of mine from school, and I thought about it, but then I was like, okay, that sounds complicated. So I just
it is.
So
it is until you realize it's the same as using Venmo. Okay. It's the same as using a bank. It's it's really in essence like, and I'll let just give me 1 second. Like, really, all I'm doing to send Bitcoin back and forth, and this is when you have Bitcoin. The Strike app is more like still a custodian type thing. But really, all it is I type in your address and I send it to you like a text message. That's really what Bitcoin is. It's information, zeros and ones going back and forth. And the longer the technology goes on, the easier the user interface gets for people like you and me, the daily users. And so it is getting easier.
This app is super easy to use. So you're going to want to go to your app store, and it's called Strike, Strike. I think I can get it on the camera, maybe. No, I maybe can't see it.
There it is, the little white one that looks like a
little horseshoe with a line.
Yeah, it's like the middle finger.
Yeah, it's like a middle finger. Okay. Yeah, it looks a little bit different, but it's like a little circle with 3 lines.
And I don't know, maybe the app is saying "F you" to the government.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I hope that's what it meant.
I'll ask him. I'll send him a clip of this, and we'll find out.
Jack Mahler,
okay.
One of my
so you go on there, you download that app, and then it's really after you do have to put your name, your driver's license, I think, your social security number. And some people are like, well, that's that's weary. To me, I'm like, no, that makes it more secure, especially if it's on, like, I have Apple, I know you have Android, but it's going to make it more secure because now it's like, it's your information. They need that. They need that information. And some people are going to think it's weird. I don't think it's weird. You put in all your information, you sign up, and then when you go, and then you can purchase, I think there's because it's been a while since I've done it, but when you can give a referral code if someone referred you, I think when you first sign up. Anyone out there that's listening to the podcast that wants a free $10 of Bitcoin, if you use my referral code, you will get free $10 of Bitcoin. So you go to Strike, use your referral code. It's CZCK23. That is the code that you can use if you get the Strike app, and you will get a free $10 of Bitcoin. It's not going to hurt you just to test it out and test the waters. And if you're like me, I start putting in every 2 weeks. And you really have nothing to, and the cool thing is you can withdraw your money anytime.
So how much is it to buy into Bitcoin? If you just want to start out, what do you recommend starting out buying into it?
So I personally,
$1 amount.
Yeah, I'm comfortable dumping almost all my money is being saved in Bitcoin. I have some savings in traditional stocks, but from here on out, the only thing I'm buying recently is Bitcoin, right? So that just comes down to how much discretionary income you have. How much are you willing to put in there and risk? Because a lot of
people are going to want to start out low because they want to see how this works. So recommending to test it out.
The average smart person will start small incrementally. An average knucklehead like me will go take out a loan and buy a gigantic amount. And then it will tank 50%. And I will go, well, shit, now I'm definitely a long-term holder, right? That's how I got into Bitcoin. So don't do that. That's what I recommend to people is don't do that. Do a comfortable amount that you can do consistently on a time basis, every 2 weeks, every week, every month, whatever you do. Do an amount that you can put away. And if it never comes back to you, you're going to be okay with that.
Okay.
Then as your education starts to develop and you start to get more confidence in the system and you understand Bitcoin and if you come to that point, then you'll be comfortable increasing that amount.
Is there a minimum to buy in?
No, so that's the cool thing, because they say there's one Bitcoin that's worth $30,000 right now. But in reality, every Bitcoin can be broken down into 100 million pieces.
Okay.
Just like each dollar has 100 pennies.
Yes.
Each Bitcoin has 100,000 or 100 million Satoshis. And that's just a nod to Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto or Mrs. But yeah, so you can go in right now and buy $5 worth, $10 worth, $100.
Well, I'm going to take my $10 and invest and see.
You get your free $10. You get your free $10 for signing up on the app. And the reason why I'm using the app as an example, am I fuzzy?
No, you're good.
Okay. The reason why I'm using the app as an example is because that's what I've learned through Alex, and that's what I'm comfortable using because it's very user friendly. It's like you see the price of Bitcoin. It gives you a little chart of like an all-time graph of the ups and downs of it. And you could see the progression moving. It's inclining. It's not declining. It's declining right now, but over time you can tell the history of it's gone up and up and up and up with little gaps of it going down.
Gotcha.
Like they say, when in doubt, zoom out.
Gotcha.
That's right.
You're gonna see that this thing has just done this. It's a consistent. And when you actually take the average of that, Bitcoin over a certain amount of time, when you take a snapshot here and here and here and here, when you do that, Bitcoin has never declined.
Right.
Here's the
Bitcoin is exponentially
I'll show it on
growing.
camera here. There's the
that's the lifetime history of it.
that's the lifetime history of Bitcoin.
Interesting.
Right
Okay.
So-
there. You can see it shoots up.
Don't forget the other.
Yeah.
So Strike is one way of like 1,000 that you can get your hands on some Bitcoin. But
Okay.
the reason why I like it so much is Jack Mahler, the individual behind the company, and the fact that it's not actually based on this is really technical, and I don't mean to go too deep. It's not based on the Bitcoin's base layer. It's on the secondary layer that makes it cheaper and faster to buy and transact in Bitcoin down here. So you go to Strike app and you pay no fee to buy Bitcoin. If you go to Coinbase or crypto.com or Gemini or any of these other major crypto exchanges, they're going to hit you for a 1% fee. So you are a 2% fee or something like that.
Sorry,
So,
excuse me.
Strike is a very good company that's truly a Bitcoin maximalist type company that is really easy to onboard new clients and new participants, and it's free to buy the Bitcoin. It costs you no fees.
And I think I might have showed, not even meaning to do it. I think I showed how much I have in Bitcoin. It's only $44 and like something cents, right? But it was like $55, I think, at one point. It's just dropped down because of the decrease. But that's only going to go back up. And in fact, on Thursday, I'll probably put another $10 or $20 in because I want to keep on. Even though it's going down, I want, like I said, I hope personally for me, I hope it keeps on dropping, because that's the best time to invest. So,
well, here's another question as well.
Yeah.
If you want to pull out money or use your Bitcoin, how difficult is that? How does that work?
So think of it like you ever bought stocks?
I have not.
Stocks, bonds. Well, there's like JP Morgan Chase, or there's Fidelity, or there's Ameriprise. And you sign up, you put in your driver's license information. They know their customer is. That's called KYC. You put in your social security. Now you can interact with this financial institution. All of the crypto exchanges that operate in America require that same level of knowledge of their client because they're financial institutions that are regulated, protected. So think about going on to one of those exchanges and saying, hey, I'm going to buy some stocks. And you buy $100 worth of stocks, and 2 months later, it's worth $115. And you go, sell it on the market, please. You hit the sell button. It turns into cash, and then you withdraw that cash into your checking account. Bitcoin is the exact same way.
Okay.
You can literally hook up. You can hook your bank account up to the Strike app, and I think, and just withdraw directly to, like right now I have $44.13, whatever it is. I can just withdraw the $44.13. I wouldn't want to do that because I've invested closer to $60. So I'm not gonna like Alex said.
You could hit the sell button right now. It would sell it immediately to the market. Which stocks, they have a trading time. Crypto, Bitcoin, 24/7. Boom, sell it. It's dollars, and then you send it to your bank account, and it takes, the dinosaur time to get cash into your bank account. Versus, I can send Bitcoin to someone in Japan right now in about 2 seconds and have instantaneous settlement.
Nice.
That's the incredible thing about this tech. One of the incredible things about this technology.
Well, see, that's a big question, a big flag for everybody that is not knowledgeable in this area of, okay, so I'm investing this money, I'm getting this money. If I want to take out this money for this, how do I get my money? So that's great information to have.
And this is why I wanted Dawn on this episode. She was like, do you want me on? Because I don't know anything about crypto or Bitcoin. I'm like, that's perfect. Because Alex can teach us, like I said, it's Alex Mangum Crypto.com. And if you go there, actually you see the Loudspot podcast. It's on there. And I also gave him a
testimonial.
The testimonial. Yeah, because I'm so excited about it. If you go to the loudspot.net and click on our sponsors, you'll see a link right to his website as well.
Perfect. And Alex, I want you and Sebastian to send me your codes because I'm going to start investing for Leland. And I'll start investing for myself. So I'll do one. That way I can support both of you. You know what I mean?
I'm good. You know what, Don? You're my favorite type of person to talk to about crypto. Like, I love digging in the weeds with other people that have studied it as much as me. But what's so good is I'm like batting 1,000% with people that I talk to. If they sit down with me and listen and lean in a little bit, like, they just almost always, they're just like, the light comes on. They go, oh, our money is shit. I get it. That's why
shit. I've been knowing that. That's why I'm like, I'm interested.
But why?
Tell me more.
I go, here's an option. I don't know if it'll work 100%, but I'm going to try this because the true Bitcoin community, we're not here to just make money. We're here to fix the money. And if you fix the money, you can truly fix the world, because how are all these wars fought? With debt.
Yeah. Sure.
With debt. Yep. Every time we get in a war, they go to the Congress and they go, hey, need to up that debt limit, need to print some more money, need to get some more war bonds. It's all bullshit. If you can't have debt, you can't have a prolonged conflict. So, like, from that level to a million other things that money impacts, truly, money is the basis foundation. If you don't have a truthful monetary system undergirding your society, then you have lies and dishonesty and deceit all throughout your society. It's corruption. It's just the way it is. It's corruption.
Do you have a group of friends that you just sit down and talk about Bitcoin with all day long?
Yeah, man, we just acid and mushrooms and down, and we just sit there. But yes, I like I said, I started a company with some friends I want to give a shout out to called moontax.com. Like, okay, your investments went to the moon. Now what do you do? Let's talk about the taxes. Let's talk about the strategies and ways to mitigate. So, like, it just touches everything. And the community that I've gotten involved with, they're so open, they're so friendly, they're so welcoming. It's been amazing. Remember, I got to know these people. I started learning about Bitcoin a year and a half ago. And then in February of this year, I had my first community meetup event. So from February to today, I've got 12 people that I've never knew before that said, hey, we want you to be in our startup company. Like, it's just, it has gone so far, so fast. I have no idea where it's going to go, but it's just
interesting to find out. Right.
They only reached out to you because they heard you on my podcast.
I got to give you all the thanks.
I take all credit.
My friendship paid off. I'm so glad. Vacaville has done everything for me.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. That's where we're from. Okay, before we end this, I do want to, I guess, we talked about the history of Bitcoin. We talked about kind of where it's at now. We talked about the reasons why people should invest and why people maybe don't want to because they still don't know. What other questions might hold somebody back? You think it's just this sheer unknowing of, we can sit here and talk about it all day long and people still might not understand. Yeah. I mean, I only understood half of what you said anyways, but when it comes down to it, you see that there's money, you see where it's at, you see it's going down. That's when you do it. What other questions might someone have? And how could you convince someone not knowing anything? This is a great investment for you and your family, and and you gain nothing from it, Alex. You gain absolutely nothing from it.
It's really hard. I'll answer that, but first let me say this. It's really hard to take a new topic to anybody and dump it on them and try and expect them to understand all of it, right? So when you play video games, the video games that are the best are obviously fun and enjoyable, but the level that you're playing on is usually 3 to 5% harder than your skill set, right? And if it's 3 to 5% harder, then you have a chance to just get good enough to keep going, and then you get a little bit better. And the next level in Mario is 3 to 5% harder than the previous level.
Right.
So education has to be like that, right? You meet someone where they're at. What do you fundamentally understand? I'm going to add a little bit to that. And if you understand that, we're going to go here and here. So there's a million questions. Some person's going to ask a question here. Next person's going to operate here. So it's, like you said earlier, the volatility. Why is it going down? Why is it tanking? Well, there's a ton of reasons why. Some of them are easy to explain. And then you can take why that happened and go really deep with it. Well, it's because of this macroeconomic picture here, and this country made this move, and now our supply chain is having problems. But in the end, to me, that's secondary to why does the money suck, and why do we need a better option? So I always start there, and then the questions pour in, right? Because I say something, and they go, "Well, that makes me think about this," and so every person's different. But what I would say to people is, think about why the money sucks. Wonder, do you want to save dollars? Because if your dollars can buy 10 bananas today, if you put them under your mattress in a year, that money that you didn't touch is only going to buy 8 or 9 bananas.
Why do I feel like I'm on the Home Shopping Network? Like right now, I feel like
I'm getting good at this, bro.
Here's my code again. You know what's funny? I do want to say when you're doing the 3 to 5% thing, and I was moving my hand with you, I was doing that so I could seem smart. I was like
I know this. But you're right with me, dude. We're on the level.
It sounds like I do want to give my code again for anyone that's listening to this, that's interested in Bitcoin. I do think that we're going to get a lot of people interested in this. It is C as in Charlie, Z as in zebra, C as in Charlie, K as in what's K?
Kilo.
Kite.
Kilo. And then 23. So CZCK23 on the Strike app, and use that. You get $10 free of Bitcoin. Now there are
technically you get $10 in cash.
Yeah, right.
And then you can take it and buy it in the app.
So you can actually cash that out. But don't do
if
that.
you don't want the Bitcoin, take the $10.
Yeah. You still get $10.
What's going to hurt
buy
you?
Some milk or some ice cream or whatever. There you go. There are other forms of cryptocurrency. We're not going to get into all those. There's a whole bunch of different ones. Bitcoin came out. I think this is the number one. And of course, I'm biased, right? I'm biased. And I'm trying.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're not biased. There's
there you
Bitcoin,
go.
and then there's all the other shit copies of it that are the vast. I mean, Ethereum and on. They are manipulating their currencies using blockchain technology, trying to act like they're Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin, and then there's crypto. And crypto is dangerous and speculative, and Bitcoin is Bitcoin. And
I think all the crypto out there is probably where those multi-level marketing companies come from, maybe, right?
Oh my gosh, the scams do not end in crypto.
Yep. Wow. I'm starting my own called Sebastian. And
can I get dirty for a second? Didn't I tell you my favorite crypto coin last time? Cum Rocket.
Well, what?
Did I it's called Cum Rocket.
Oh no! I didn't.
And they want to be they wanted to be the cryptocurrency of porn. They wanted to be, and look at the token. It's like a little rocket with like a little.
Damn it! You're fuzzy again, baby. You're fuzzy again, babe.
Yeah. But there's like 19,000 other cryptocurrencies today, and every single one of them acts like they're here for the community and we're here to fix things, and then they take bad, corrupt monetary policies, and that's how they issue their tokens and do things. So yeah, learn about Bitcoin, and then you'll understand crypto and why it's different, and why you mostly should stay away from it. And it's a slow progress of education, personal responsibility, and personal education. That's the only way you get good at anything.
Well, that's like with any investments. Do your research.
That's right.
Still fuzzy?
Always do your research. No, you're good.
I don't know what's going on then. Okay, well that's good then.
All right. And I got a White Stripes concert to go to.
Have fun.
Hey, see, we still talked about music. Okay, Alex, thank you for being on the show again for your third time being on here. Second time Bitcoin episode. I want to have maybe another 3 months. Let's get some news out. Let's get you back on and talk about it again. I think people like this, even though we talk about music. This could be one consistent thing outside of music that we talk about. So
yeah, heck yeah, man.
Great.
I love it.
Don,
It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. I'm glad
we hope you learned a lot. Alex, please stay right there after the outro song plays. It's about to be over. You'll get to your concert, I promise you. I want to thank everyone listening to the Loud Spot. I'm sorry it was a little bit fuzzy tonight. We are going to work on that. That's all the time we got. Let me find my outro. Here we go. Don, you ready? Peace out, rock on.
Much love.
There we go.
This is the Loud Spot outro by nothing short of tragic.
Is this all talk with no action? No. Is this my thoughts with distraction? No. Is this what I bought that's in fashion? Or is this the Loud Spot with Sebastian? Yes. Does nothing short of tragic have us back again? Yes. Does everything that's good really have to end? Yes. Our pin post has to pin show, so to get more episodes, make an order.
Maryland sports fans, there's only one sports book in the great state of Maryland with over 50 years experience booking bets and supporting customers. Betfred Sportsbook at Longshots is now open and is the only sports book in Frederick offering cash betting on football, basketball, world soccer, and more. Visit the Betfred Sportsbook at I-270 and MD-85 in Frederick, right next to Longshots off-track betting. Go to betfredsports.com for more information and your chance to win exclusive merchandise. Must be 21 or older. Play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.